Yeah. Yo, what's good, boys?
Oh.
We here. It's a special occasion. We announced our podcast, but this is not the podcast. This is is a reaction? Or are we gonna be reactors? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
All right, so
Well, who knows?
we're gonna call this segment right here, depending how well this one goes. You know what I mean? This shit don't do numbers. We ain't doing it again. Oh God. This is here, right here is Organized Disaster Reacts. I am your co-host, AD. This is my co-host, the Big
Big homie.
Homicide. Yes, sir. I was gonna introduce you, but you're your own man.
Uh,
What's
took a
good, bro?
took a long pause. I was confused.
I was so in the moment, bro. I was so in the fucking moment. What the fuck? All right. So we're here. We're gonna react to something special, and we haven't watched it. I mean, it's been out for what, like a week now. We haven't
Like a
watched it
week.
because we wanted to do exactly this. We wanted to see if, for the first time with each other, have our true, honest reactions to it. I believe this is someone we kind of both look up to.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
it's not the lane we're in, but I mean, we watch him
You
on
can just
his
admire
podcast.
good. You can just admire success.
Yes, sir. We're gonna be reacting to Back
Bring back
Poo.
a couple.
Yes, sir. From the boy Akaash Singh from Flagrant 2, you know what I mean? Asshole Army to bring that shit back one time. You know
You
what I
know.
mean? Before we get into this, how hype are you about watching it? Now that it's been out for a
Pretty high.
week, we see what the numbers have done, so we know, I mean, million views. We know it's something.
I say we caught on the Akash probably like 2011, 2012, like towards the end of our high school times when he was on Guy Code, Wildin' Out, Girl Code, all those. So it's been a long time coming for him to drop a special because even for a while he wasn't even dropping clips. So to then see clips starting to surface of him and like the way he deals with hecklers, which is something that he gets a lot of notoriety for, because his crowd work is really good. Like you see that he's like a really good comedian. So it's like the first chance to get to see something like this that's formulated and like actually composed, it's gonna be fire.
Super excited. I
And the
mean, I
fact that it's like 20 minutes, it's like, all right, this is gonna be short, sweet, to the point. Like here's what this is. You know what I mean?
I mean, most people do what the first special is usually half an hour, so I mean, it's not that
Half
far
an
off.
hour, and sometimes the first one is usually like an hour because they go for a big
Well,
one.
yeah, if it's like
And they get like
HBO or
their
something.
Comedy Central first hour, or HBO or Showtime or
Okay.
whoever were to like sponsor them, or even Netflix actually.
But obviously, I mean, he's coming from the Flagrant 2 podcast, and he's taking a lot of he's following Andrew Schultz's steps and how he's putting out his comedy. I mean, for him to put it out on YouTube shows that, like, he believes in what Andrew did. Obviously, what Andrew did blew him up, you know what I mean? But shows that he has trust in, like, I kind of look at Andrew as the
Definitely has
leader.
faith in the process.
Exactly. And I mean, he was with Andrew the whole way. I mean, they've been, they always say it. They've been best friends for Andrew literally says that's his best friend in comedy, like, for years. So I'm excited to get to this. So let's get to it. Bring this up
Let's
right
get
here.
to
All
it.
right, bro. Ready? Three. And this is the intro. Three.
What was racist about a poo? Here is a brown man married to a beautiful brown woman, owns his own business, selling overpriced products to unwitting white people. Pooh is not racist. He's the American dream.
I gotta say, I've seen that part so many times. Still gets me hype. It gets me
Yeah,
hype.
it's still funny. It's still funny. The song is fire too.
I am number one and fuck whoever don't acknowledge it.
I thought that's really far back there. I'm number one. Fuck whoever don't acknowledge.
And then it brings it to the opening credits like of the title. Like that's fire.
I'm kind of nervous. I'm excited to see. But you saw my boy Marky Gagnon there. And
Hey, why you apologizing for laughing, bro? Look what we done to white men.
That white guy was so scared.
Cut that shit out, bro. You're allowed to be happy. White men are like shelter dogs now. He's apologizing for laughing at a comedy show. Isn't that fucking unbelievable?
God.
It's like watching Reek in Game of Thrones. You went through the whole arc. You guys used to run shit. Big dick swinging everywhere. Well, moderate-sized dick swinging everywhere.
Yo, moderate size dick. Yo, this man came out swinging immediately, bro.
For real, bro. This special's what, a minute in, bro. Literally a minute and 1 second.
Going at it already. It's not
I
even a
love it. The
premise. It's
crowd-
not even a premise.
Bro, this
What
is
you
crowd
said.
work.
Crowd
This is crowd work.
Which I didn't realize, but
Fire.
listening to him on Rogan, he kind of
For
made how
real.
like him and Schultz are really good at crowd work, and that's their thing. And it really shows. Like, I mean, like you said, one of his most viral clips is him shitting on.
My guy! It's like the Dark Knight for white dudes. Not the hero we need. The hero we deserve. I'll tell you another thing a white dude can't have, an excuse. Let me tell you something, white guy. If you fail, it is your fault. And I'm gonna tell you right now, you look like you've been through some shit. But nobody cares how much you struggled. It don't matter if you grew up in a trailer park and your daddy beat you and your mom was addicted to white people crack.
White people crack.
Meth, you guys know I'm talking about meth, right? Ravaging middle America. Kind of funny in a karmic sense, but the point is,
Kind of funny in a
we
comic
just look at
sense.
white men like they're cats.
Shout out
Like, he'll
Nixon.
land on his feet. That sucks, dude. There's freedom of being a minority. The freedom I have, if I fail, not only is it not my fault, it's still your fucking fault. Ain't that crazy? I'm not talking to all minorities. I understand black Americans have been taken advantage of, mistreated for centuries. I get that. But when I see people who look like me talking about white privilege, where were your parents? They didn't teach you about your American privilege? I grew up in the 90s and I tried being woke back when it was just lazy. And they set me straight. Mom, Dad, you know white people have jobs Indians can't access. They'd be like, okay. You know what you have that real Indians can't access? Toilets. There's a lot of folks, if you try to describe toilets, they would think it was actual magic. They'd be like, wait a minute, hold on. You doo-doo into a machine? Press a button. Doo-doo disappears? Where does it go? And you're so privileged, you'd be like, honestly, bro, I never even thought about it. Parts unknown, I guess.
I gotta say, in the Joe Rogan thing, he talked about how, like, he was watching. Remember, he was talking about like the comic, like watching comedy and like actually taking notes on like the different people and like, what he was seeing. You could see like when he was talking about Patrice, how Patrice was taking like he took the facial stuff from Patrice. You see that a lot right there, especially in that joke. Like he had a lot of like different faces. He was
Because that shit is important. Like I just watched Andrew talking about it on a different podcast, and he was like talking about how like in his specials the camera's like 10 feet in front of him.
yeah.
So like it's in the middle of the crowd, you can feel it. Whereas when some of these people play theaters, it's on a fucking crane just passing by. Like instead of the camera's a person in the 10th row or in the whatever row, you know what I mean? Whereas it's like a drone flying over you. You're in that crowd when the camera's that close to you. So the intimacy of small rooms like this, like that's where a comedian can really crush. And like that's why they talk about playing the back of the room. Obviously, that's where the comedians are. That's what they mean by that. But you can touch the back of the room because it's such an intimate venue, and that's where really that eye contact and the facial expressions really count in that,
Yeah.
and the act outs for some people.
That's true, because you can't really you're not gonna be able to see it if you're fucking in a stadium and you're in those
You're in
blues.
a stadium, you're in a theater. Exactly that. That's exactly Andrew's point. He's like, if you're in the stadium, if you're in the nosebleeds and like you couldn't afford to get paid like all the way in the front, you're not gonna see the face I'm making down here. You're not gonna see this and like, you know what I mean? And that's very crucial to most comedy.
Why comedy is a science.
Bourdain could have done that episode. We're so privileged, we don't just got toilets, we got toilet paper. It's a lot of people don't got paper. We got ass paper. And have you seen the adjectives we're putting on this product? It's pretty privileged. No. Quilted. Extra
That's great
absorbent.
participation. That was perfect. That was perfect.
He wanted that. He baited
Yeah,
that.
he wanted somebody to speak.
baited
Just a
that.
little gap of silence.
What-
Just a little gap of silence. Like
what's-
that's how you play with the air.
Hit him with a. I bet you when he's constructing a joke, like, what are they gonna say? Soft, wilted. Yo, that's good.
Because it's such a more specific word. That is a word that they use, and
And
like
that
that's not the
shows-
first word that comes to your mind though. I thought comfy. You know what I mean? So any of those words would have fit into that, and he'd have been able to still play off that. So like that's a really well written joke.
Aloe and vitamin E.
Again, crowd work engagement.
I am wiping my ass with blankets at this point. Nutrient-enriched blankets.
Too fly.
How
Facts.
privileged we are, dude. My asshole gets more vitamins than the average African adolescent. Crazy?
God
You can talk about
damn.
other people's privilege? Get the fuck out of here. This is how privileged we are as Americans. If you go to your friend's house and they got one-ply toilet paper, don't you start looking around like... Did he lose his job?
God damn.
He would be relegated to this government-issued product.
Government issue.
I can't wipe my ass with this. It feels like paper. Fuck white privilege, dog. I'm saying we're lucky to
that
be
was
us.
hard.
Yes, this is what I've been waiting for.
I'm not
I've
saying
been
you
waiting to
can't
see the
cancel anybody.
editing.
I think we're taking it a bit far.
I like that hoodie
Mascots.
too. Brown privilege.
Come on. The Washington Redskins. If you really care about the Native Americans, you know that the Washington Redskins mascot isn't too offensive. It's not offensive enough.
This is true. Pause that. This is true, especially from two Florida boys, where there's a college in our state that literally they had a horse on the field with a man dressed as an Indian on it, all right? With a fucking tomahawk riding down the football field to celebrate. That logo was not nearly out of
Bro, the whole Redskins thing threw
Just
me
saying.
off because it was like,
It was so stupid, and then the way they settled it, it even seems so lackadaisical. Like I don't even know what they are anymore. The football team.
no,
Cool.
no,
That's
they
a
changed it. They
fucking
changed it, but it's
They
something-
changed it again.
yeah,
I was
some
like,
dumb
all right,
shit.
that was a stupid name to start off with. Like, way to placeholder it.
Sound like a
They're like, all right,
soccer
we're
team.
gonna. It's like they did it like they were a stadium. They're like, all right, this is a placeholder until we get a sponsor.
Exactly.
Like
what
it's,
it was.
it's gonna be the Washington Pepsi soon when they get that Pepsi now.
That's what they should do, bro. Take a note out of fucking esports.
Guys, I've thought this through. If you talk to people, half of them will tell you that Native Americans are offended by the Redskins mascot. The other half will tell you that they're not. And what I've realized is we're all just guessing.
Yo, fucking facts, bro. Like, has anybody asked the Redskin, like, how offended are you by the Washington
You call them a Redskin. That's the point of it.
Native Americans are basically human Bitcoin.
I like this joke. I like this
I
joke.
believe they exist.
I ain't never seen one in person.
But I never got my hands on one of them motherfuckers. Never seen one in the real world. But you forget how fucked up that is until you see a racist mascot. So if you really care about the Native Americans, you make all their mascots as offensive as possible. As reminders. Fuck the Washington Redskins, they should be the Washington White Skin Heads. The Chicago Blackhawk lives don't matter. Thanks, black dude, for laughing so hard. You free up the rest of these guys to let it out. You know what I mean? 'Cause they don't know it's okay.
Good.
They didn't even let me get to the most offensive name. the Portland Trail of Tear Blazers. Right? That's pretty good. Now you remember the great thing about the Trail of Tears since 5th grade. And now you're like, oh fuck, maybe we should give them some reparations. Thank you,
That's a
racist
fucking
mascot.
banger, bro.
Also,
I
if
didn't
you
think
know
of
anything
that.
about sports, you want the Redskins to have a racist mascot. Because this is a terrible team. So if there's any young kids thinking about being racist, let's take one look at that win-loss record and be like, never mind. Wow.
Yo, that was
Like how he incorporated sports. That's so funny.
He said, "Never mind. They are garbage."
Let's take a look at that win-loss record. That's a good
One
bit.
playoff win in 30 years. That's embarrassing. That should be your punishment if you have a bad team. You have to have a racist mascot. The Cleveland Browns? You think I want my skin associated with that garbage franchise? Absolutely not. You are the Cleveland Klansmen until further notice.
It's even funny because he got the brown
Yeah.
for that joke.
Grew up in the 90s. I'm
Yeah, I
not
love
used to
that.
Indians
The,
talking
lo-
about racism.
the edits are fire.
Some motherfuckers got rid of a poo.
It's also kind of a fire shirt right there. I can't remember from.
How you gonna
The piano
cancel a
keys,
poo,
yeah.
dog? I miss a poo. You guys remember a poo, the Indian guy that owned the convenience store in The Simpsons? He was a staple of my childhood. And then all of a sudden, 4 brown dudes wanted to fuck white girls and tried to make him racist. And then they just canceled this motherfucker. What was racist about a poo? Here is a brown man married to a beautiful brown woman, owns his own business, selling overpriced products to unwitting white people. A poo is not racist. He's the American dream. The only thing that offended my parents about a poo was I'm not a poo. I'd be like, what about his accent? Doesn't that offend you? And they would be like, your accent offends me. Have you heard yourself speak Hindi? It's embarrassing.
That's funny as fuck.
Man, these fucking brown A-list millionaires. Oh, because of a poo, I got made fun of in my childhood. Welcome to childhood, bitch. What do you think this is for everybody else? You think they were carrying the Korean kid on their shoulders after calculus? No, they cheat off that motherfucker and then ignore him until the next pop quiz.
That's facts.
The Korean kid at my school, they didn't even know his name. You know what they called him? Chinese. That's right. They didn't care. Thank God I had a poo for bullies to make fun of. Otherwise, they would have made fun of me for me. I don't need that. I'm 5'7", I'm skinny fat, I kind of sound like Steve Buscemi.
He's
I'm skinny fat.
5'7", I'm skinny fat.
And I kind of look like Steve Buscemi, which is hilarious because he kind of does.
Somebody pop
Or
it
he
up.
said sounds like Steve Buscemi. I just played him. That's fucked.
We're gonna play it in the edit.
I get too many vulnerabilities. But luckily, I had a poo.
You gotta use
to
the Steve
absorb all of
Buscemi
their
from
insults,
Mr.
like
Deeds.
Captain America's shield. So the worst thing a bully ever said to me was,
That
"Thank
was
you,
good.
come
My
again."
bad. Pause that. Run it back.
Run it.
Pause that. Run it back.
Run it
He
back.
said the cat. He said all I had was something. He compared it to Captain America's shield.
Sound like Steve Buscemi. I get too many vulnerabilities. But luckily, I had a poo to absorb all of their insults, like Captain America's shield. So the worst thing a bully ever said to me was, "Thank you, come again."
We've all been there. We've used it.
Oh, teacher. This kid is calling me polite. How will I recover?
Yo, that's good right there. I was so
That's a
curious.
first take.
I was so
That's a fresh
curious.
take on that.
That is, honestly. Yeah, honestly. But I was curious because we seen the clip of the beginning of this joke. I was curious to where he was actually gonna take it, and I like this.
Yeah, I like how it circled back.
Yep.
I heard they're gonna bring him back, and he's gonna be voiced by an Indian dude. I gotta be honest, I don't want that. I want a poo voiced by a white guy. Don't motherfucker make me feel the way. Let me explain first. Because back in the day, whenever some racist redneck would be like, these fucking Indians are taking all our jobs, I could be like, bop, 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 bop.
You know.
Not all of them. Oh, by the way, real quick public service announcement.
I gotta say, we gotta shout out the editing one more time on a pause thing. Yo, that editing,
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, it looks really good. I like the effect.
Yep.
I am double vaccinated, but I don't think you should yell at every person who doesn't want to get the vaccine. There they are.
Wait for it.
No, I'm being serious, dude. I don't think you should yell at a person just because they don't want to get the vaccine.
So good at that.
Fucking banger. That is a banger.
That's a hard one.
What the fuck you talking about? I'm so tired.
The first time they showed the crowd laughing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Listen to these
Other
fat
than the first white guy.
Yeah.
But that was kind of him engaging.
Hey, you know, I've been doing a lot of reading online. Oh, what a surprise. The fat guy sat at his computer for 3 days straight. It's funny, you can read all that shit, but you can never seem to read nutrition facts. Is that funny? Right there on the box of butter. Just,
Box of butter. Yo.
that escapes you. Fuck them lame-ass excuses from fat people. Fat motherfucker like, well, I don't know what they put in those things. You're eating Flamin' Hot Cheetos, dog.
I like the little subtle edit right there, right
Red
before the
Lake
punchline.
40s,
It like
you fat fuck.
zoomed in.
Yeah.
Let that laugh out, dog. Go ahead. Let that laugh out, dog. You laughing like you got a fat family member. See how he laughing? He knows. I'm
You
just
laughing like
saying.
you got a fat
Don't you want to
family.
feel something in your left arm before you grab that motherfucker in the middle of your heart attack?
Jesus.
It'd be nice to do this and not have to die at the end of it. Yeah, well, that's a little sore as opposed to call 911.
That's a funny still. That was a funny edit on this.
There's only one form of privilege I believe in. White female privilege. See how scared y'all got? Isn't that kind of something? That's
You
the
can
power
note
they
this
have. The bitches
room
are like Voldemort.
is definitely bigger than the other one,
Facts.
but the same crowd. You still have the same feeling of that crowd intimacy.
It's definitely, you can hear the echo.
Yeah.
Oh, no, don't say their name. You'll write a blog, you'll disappear. I'll hide your face when you laugh, bro. Fuck these bitches.
Cancel culture.
Every minority that complains about white men, ladies, is just trying to fuck you. I'm not that guy. But I don't have a problem with your privilege. I think it's a good thing. I think you should teach your privilege globally, because a lot of women could use white female privilege. Listen, I'm Indian. I read the Metoo accounts from women in India. It was horrifying. My stomach hurt. You couldn't believe the atrocities these women had to suffer. Then I read the Metoo accounts from white women in America. It just don't hit the same. I'm not saying white women didn't have to suffer. I know there were some terrible stories, but there was a lot of you like, oh, you have no idea how hard it is for us. I cannot even walk down the street without men saying hi. Okay. It's so funny. That's what you think street harassment looks like. Oh my goodness. Do you know what street harassment looks like in India? Like this.
Oh my god, it's worse, yo. It's worse because his eyes and shit. Like, this looks very piercing. This is very scary.
This is a terrifying
This is the new.
image.
This is the new cover art for Morbius. I knew he was gonna hold it.
He's breathing into it heavy and shit.
That crowd shit, you can hear the
right?
crowd laugh
At a
for
certain
real.
point, weren't all you guys like, dude, please talk to me? Tell me I got a fat ass. I don't care. Just say anything. Brown bitch got PTSD in the middle. It's like, ah! I'm on a train
I met my
again.
husband.
Again, I am not trying to marginalize what all white women had to go through. I read those Harvey Weinstein accounts. That was fucking awful, dude. These white actresses were like Harvey Weinstein, made me perform oral sex to be in his movie. And that's fucked up, dude. My first thought when I read that is, fuck that guy. He's a monster. I hope he spends the rest of his life in prison and his afterlife in hell. Fuck that guy. Yup. Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. Fuck that motherfucker. That was my first thought.
All right, second thought.
My second thought.
My second thought.
Is he still casting?
Yo, what's the talk out?
I'm just saying, dude, a movie? I'm gonna be honest, I don't even need a movie. I will suck dick for sitcoms. For a movie, I'll fuck this guy. Tell my wife about it. Babe, where you going? Putting on the condom and getting us a condo. And again, guys, I am not trying to downplay the importance of the Me Too movement. It is easily the most important movement in our lifetimes. I will never try to downplay that significance. I will say, the first few weeks, I thought Me Too was just all of us talking about things we would also do to be in a movie. It was a little embarrassing. On Twitter, like, you was subject to being an Avenger? Me too! I want to send a fucking message to anybody that looks like me. You don't deserve anything. This idea you walk around with, that you deserve certain things. You don't deserve a single fucking thing. Your parents, our parents who came here literally with $6 didn't get here because they thought anybody owed them dick. They came over here because they worked, because they were the best of the fucking best. That's how they got here. Then they came here with $6 in a country where a language they didn't understand and a culture they didn't understand, and they built from fucking nothing because they knew I don't deserve shit. I get what I earn, I eat what I kill. How the fuck we lost that so quickly disgusts me, and we need to cut that shit the fuck out. You don't deserve shit. Go get it. Go be great, like your fucking parents, who are hopefully still walking around and looking at you every day. That's all I need to say.
It's fire.
All right, bro. First reaction, instant reactions. What do you say?
Instant reaction. I want to watch it again.
100%.
It's that funny. It's that funny. Yeah, it's that funny. And like I said, it's short. It's easy to consume.
Yeah.
It's
The editing,
a very good special.
We got to shout that out one more time. The editing was
editing,
amazing.
the music.
Yep.
Yeah, that shit's on point.
The ending, I honestly got chills. I see that clip before, but just how they presented it, showed the pictures of the videos of him talking to his parents.
We've seen a lot of it before, technically. Like, we're big fans of these people, so we follow them heavily. Like, a lot of those things were in promo clips, or we saw them in the works. I remember hearing some of those jokes on pods.
I was literally going to say that last joke, I remember hearing that on the pod. Like, but that's the beautiful thing. It's like, even with Schultz and shit, you know what I mean? We've been watching Schultz forever. Obviously, we're gonna get back to, but
years.
There's shit I've heard him say on Brilliant, where it's like when we seen his clips that he posts, or like just anything, premises of jokes, is like, oh, you were really working it out. You know what I mean? So
that's the driving force behind why these guys are going to YouTube. They want to make sure that the jokes can still be put out there, and they're not gonna get censored by some bullshit. There's no need to try and cancel a comedian when they're making the jokes. They're a comedian.
Akaash, man, well done. Great.
Fire special.
Yes,
Fire special. I know
special.
there's more to come.
For sure.
I know there's more to come.
And that's what's exciting. This
sure.
is his first. You know what I mean? It's only 20 minutes. Like,
I feel like there'll probably be more to come within the year.
yeah, like this is, bro, a million in a week, right? And let's just say, like, he's not
million in a
Schultz.
week. He dropped his tour schedule. He's going like at least 6-7 different places.
Yeah, like this is gonna open up doors for him. I mean, even him dropping it, he got on Rogan, which, you know what I mean, that probably put him in the faces of people that never even heard of him. You know what I mean? So
A lot of them.
yeah, and he was great on it too. He was great on it. But this
Big.
special, man, I mean, his physicality, like I said, I brought it up earlier, but he was talking about on Rogan, like, you could see him put it to use. Like, he's very animated. I mean, even the creepy face, like, it made you feel a little. It made you feel a little, and then he was breathing in the mic, so it's like you really feel like this guy's a weirdo. You just turn it on.
Like you said, you're like, dude, talk to me.
Yeah, exactly. So, let's give it a rating. What do you think?
Oh man, I give that like a solid 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'd give it an 8. I'd give it 8 out of 10.
No.
Give it 8 out of 10. We don't
First special, you know what I mean? Like that was hard. That shit was hard.
Yeah.
8 mics. That's what we doing. It's a mic rating. It's an 8 mic rating.
8 mics. It's excessive. It's just mad mics at the bottom of this. It's like a battle pass.
Yeah, word. I pulled up his tour schedule. He's going from fucking Canada to Los Angeles, back to Canada to Texas to Florida. So if he's anywhere near where you are, check him out, please. Or if you're in Denver, please request him to come here because I just did.
Yeah, I would like to see him in Denver. I mean, we saw Schultz here. Why not see Akaash here? You know what I mean?
We saw Schultz and Mark.
And Mark, yeah. But yeah, man. I mean, what you got a favorite joke off of first watch? Might hit you a little different.
Nah. That's why I want to watch it again.
Yeah.
Figure out which one was. I think the one that stood out the most from the whole thing.
I mean, like I said earlier, but we've seen the beginning clip because obviously it's called "Bring Back Apu," and we seen the promo was the beginning of the Apu joke. I liked it because, I mean, the extended part of it, you know what I mean, like him actually going into the joke.
Actually, the rest of it beyond the beginning punchline.
I mean, I even like the Captain America. You know what I mean? Like, it's like
I think that might have been my favorite one. Like, oh, what are you gonna say? I'm polite.
I also like the delivery. I very much like the delivery of like the Me Too thing. Like, that was my first thought.
Yeah, and I've heard him say that. That's one of the jokes that I've heard him say before. It's super funny. Super funny. So I feel like it might have been derived from an honest thought, and then it just turned into like, all right, here's this premise.
I mean, bro, we hear them talk about it. These guys are literal scientists to the game. You know what I mean? This is their sweet art. This is what they literally want to be great at. So they're gonna take any thoughts that come to them, and make it into this. You know what I mean? Like we said, we watched it. So like, to us, it's a little different feeling. I'm kind of curious to see how, like, I want to read the comments now that I've actually seen it. I can, like, you know what I mean, like, dive in. I was really staying away from it because I was like, I don't want to.
Yeah, for real.
I don't want to see it
on the video not once. Like,
yeah.
I was like, God, man, this is annoying. I was ready to watch this shit by myself and not say anything.
It's good. Let's go.
Okay, I gave it that real react though. Don't worry.
But yeah, man. Great special. This was a great first Organized Disaster Reacts. I hope we do more of these. We'll see how this edited. We edit this, or I will edit it, and yeah, we present it. But I'm excited that we did this. Thank you for being here. Shout out Akaash. Shout out Flagrant 2, Asshole Army, Schultz, everybody over there. You know what I mean? We love your shit. We will continue. We will continue to watch your shit, support. And when I blow the fuck up, I'll be on there eventually. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. The AD, big homie right there.
Big homie.
That's the boy. I gotta let you say your own name, dude. I gotta let you say your own name.